Hello guys and welcome back. I have some new Chanel products to test out with you. Now I am on a low buy in July, and so I saw that Chanel released their summer collection and I decided to only pick the blush highlighter duos. They do have some eyeshadow sticks, actually quite a lot of fun colors. I was able to swatch them in store. They also have some nail polishes, I think some lipstick, some of their balm essential like new colors, and I was able to kind of play with them in store, and I just decided that for my low buy month to just stick with the blushes, and I think these are the things that most people are interested in. So I have here both shades. Oh, I kind of took them out, but I didn't swatch them. I just kind of wanted to make sure that they were not broken. And this is a tip for you guys. Open your makeup right after you buy it or before you purchase it. Make sure that the product is not broken, because like me, I purchased mine when I was in Florida on vacation, and if it was broken, I wouldn't be able to kind of swap it. And I think my local Chanel boutique doesn't have this collection in yet. Anyway, so I did open it, but I didn't swatch it. So here we have the two color stories. One is more of a berry tone and one is more peachy. And this is a blush and highlighter duo. Comes in these boxes. You also get the little velvet thing that I personally throw them out because I have so many, but it actually is kind of nice to have if you use your product as much as you should for how much you're paying for it. Talking about money, these are $75 a piece, and you know, obviously it's extremely expensive, but you are paying for Chanel. I was expecting for some reason at $85 because you get highlighter and blush, but you don't get as much product as in these Le Beige highlighter blush trio thing. I adore these. I have 3 colors and all 3 of them are actually on my table because I use them daily. This is the peach duo, and that is really beautiful. And let's open the berry one. So you get also a brush. These brushes are actually acceptable. You could probably use these, but I never do. And here is the berry one. The highlighter in the berry has a shift to it, and then the one in peach is more of a golden shift. They are beautiful. Let's put them side by side. Here they are side by side. I'm gonna try to turn them a little bit to see if the camera will pick up the shift in them. There's a really pretty imprint on them as well. Let's swatch these. Okay, so these are harder pressed. They're not very powdery, so the imprint is still there. I mean, it's gonna be gone soon, but they are harder pressed, which I kind of like. And that is the peach duo. Let's swatch it right here. Ooh, I like the feel of the blush. It reminds me a little bit of the winter collection. Was it the Le Beige winter collection? I really like that blush from Chanel. I also have nail polish right here, the black stuff. It won't come off, but here is the peach duo. It's really pretty, but nothing revolutionary. I kind of think the berry color story is a little bit more interesting. Yes, that looks really, really beautiful. And this right here is the berry duo. I'm actually so excited about this. You can see that the highlighter from the peach has that gold shift, and this has more of that pink purpley shift. And I'm not a huge fan of gold highlighters, so we'll see how that looks on me. All right, let's just start with this one first. I'm taking a BK Beauty N15. Okay, these are very hardly pressed, so I have a feeling that they're not going to be as pigmented in the beginning, and you just build them up. So let's start putting them here. Yeah, there's not much pigment on this. I wonder if I should swap the brush. You know, I don't mind less pigment in blushes, highlighters. As long as you can build them up, I'm all good with that. It's very, very sheer. I'm gonna try to change the brush. I'm going to use this Refer 24, which is definitely more dense, but I am rubbing this. There's some coming off, but not much. So you definitely need to build up the product. Okay, now it's building up much better. So maybe with a denser brush like this, I'll pick up the product better. Usually I use this brush for foundation. So that kind of tells you the density of the brush that I'm using. Okay, now this is really pretty. It does have a shift in it. The formula reminds me a lot of the winter collection that I really love. That's probably one of my favorite Chanel blush formula that I've tried, because it almost looks like it's a baked blush and you need to build it up, but it has a sheen to it. Okay, that is beautiful. Definitely the brush that you're using will make a difference. I'm going to build it up even more just because I know on camera it can be washed out a lot more than in real life. So this is a soft blush. If you have even medium skin tone, I don't think this is going to show up on you. You may have to build it up a lot, but this is mainly for lighter skin tones, light to medium, maybe medium, but deeper than that, it's just not going to show up on you. But I'm actually really liking the color right now. I was a little turned off in the beginning when I tried to use just a little bit more fluffy brush, but now I'm actually really liking it. It's nice, peachy, soft, not too intense, nothing crazy though. My under eyes look so incredibly dry right now. If you don't know, we've been to the beach for the past week and my skin is just suffering right now, and I did not do a good job with my skincare. It was like on and off. So this is a really pretty blush. It's more intense in real life. Like the way I see it on here is quite intense. What I see on the camera doesn't show as much, but it's beautiful. It looks quite blurring on the skin. But I've seen this from Chanel. I don't feel like this is a unique shade or anything revolutionary. It's just pretty. Like, I do like it. I can't say I don't like it, but I'm not impressed. However, let's take the highlighter. I am taking this Sonia G Mini Cheek, and I'm gonna add the highlighter here. Okay, the highlighter is definitely more intense. I probably should have used a brush like this to pick up the blush as well, and not a synthetic one, because it will pick up this formula better. I'm blending in the highlighter. Okay, so the highlighter is really beautiful, soft. It's not chunky at all. Even on my really dry, kind of crackly skin, I feel like it's blurring it all out. But I don't love the tone on me. I don't love these kind of gold shift tones. If they're champagne, it's different, but this really has almost like a gold yellow tone to it. It's not tragic, but it's just not my favorite. I think combining these two is the way I'm gonna use it, because I don't love such a kind of goldish highlighter. And combining it, it kind of tones it down, and you really can just like swirl your brush in here and it would be a beautiful kind of more luminous blush. So here is the Gold Peach Duo. I really like them mixed together. It's actually really, really beautiful. Just looking in the mirror, I feel like when I turn my cheek, it looks so much more blurrier, this whole section, than this area under my eyes that I mentioned is just dry and separating, and the concealer doesn't want to stay. So just disregard that. But I really feel like once I put this powder on the cheek, I feel like the cheek just looks better, you know? But look how bright that is. It definitely isn't as bright on the cheek, but I really do like the finish of it. And again, this is just Chanel. It just has such a beautiful finish when it comes to their blushes and highlighters. It's really elegant. I'm excited about this one. Let's take this brush from Sonia G. This is the Soft Cheek. And I am taking, ooh, this seems to be more pigmented. So I'm going to be careful, maybe take a little bit off and go in on this side. Just look how blush and highlighter, I feel like it just brings the whole makeup look together than with nothing. I do have the CL bronzing drops on. And that's it. I try to not put too much, just a little bit. Let's go on this side with the berry. What's the official color? The light and berry. I thought this color story was pretty. A more berry pinky, I guess. On me, it's pulling quite pink tone. I actually think Chanel has been doing a lot more kind of fun colors. The eyeshadows, the eyeshadow sticks that they came out with were really fun. There was some light, brighter green, some pink, purple, just a lot of different fun shades. So I kind of was excited to see that. And I almost picked up the purple one because it has such a beautiful kind of sparkle through it. But I knew myself, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use it twice and then forget about it. It's just not what I wear, but for blushes, highlighters, I will reach for these a lot. So it's kind of worth it a little bit more for me. But if you're into those more colorful eyeshadow sticks, those seem really beautiful and they did not budge. I did try one on the eyes and it did not move. Okay, I love that. I like this one a lot better than the peach one. This is definitely softer, but this has an even bigger shift to the blush. Like you can see that the blush has that kind of glow to it without being any sparkle or anything like that in it. I really like this one. This definitely reminds me of the winter collection. Is this the 5th time I'm mentioning that? Probably. This color is also more potent. I didn't really have to build up the product that much, and it's quite bright. Again, in person, things look different than on camera. There's only so much we can do. And the camera seems to kind of tone down all the colors. So we're going to add a little bit more, but in person, this is more than enough blush. I love the shift in it. I love the tone of it. I like how it's blurring my cheek. It's kind of funny that there's such an obvious place where I added the blush because it's so much smoother and blurred than this area, kind of wherever there's no blush and highlighter. I think that is a huge thing because if you have more mature skin or you're struggling with pores or things like that, having a blush and a highlighter that doesn't emphasize that or it blurs it, it smooths it out is huge. It's absolutely huge. Okay, I kind of wiped my other brush and we're going in with the highlighter. This, I think, is going to be very bright. So I'm going to take some off and then go here and slowly build it up. You can definitely see that the highlighter has that shift in it. When I turn my cheek, it goes like to that pink color. And I think it's really pretty. I used to never wear these highlighters, kind of just wanted a one tone, barely there highlighters, but I've learned to really like these, mainly when I mix them with the blush. It just gives such a magical kind of glowy cheek blush thing that I really enjoyed. I think the key is for it to not be metallic, but softer. And I think this does a really good job balancing those two, where it's definitely a little bit more fun than your basic kind of no tone highlighter or a soft one even tone. This has that little shift in it that makes it a little bit more fun, but it's still very elegant and it's not metallic at all, not sparkly. It's just a shift. Here are the two color stories side by side. We have the gold peach, and honestly, this has been growing on me. I actually find it very flattering on my skin tone. It's a great everyday soft blush. It's not too peachy. It's not too golden once everything is melted in together. I'm really liking it right now. Initially, I think I was expecting a little bit more brightness from it, but seeing it on the skin, I really, really love it. I think it's going to be one of those easy blushes that you just put on and go. And here is the light berry. It's a little bit more built up than I normally would, just so the camera can pick it up. But it really is pretty soft. You can build this up even more and have it quite intense. I think this color story will work probably on more skin tones. Although the highlighter is quite bright and light, it has that shift in it. So I'm curious if it will just show a little bit too much on deeper skin tone. I would love to know how it works for you if you have deeper skin tone and you've tried it. But I do like this. I think it has a bit of uniqueness. Again, that really blur effect and softness to the skin, but you still have that shift that I actually really have grown to appreciate it. One thing that I do want to bring up, and I think I'm going to start mentioning in other videos whenever I do reviews, is that I am here to tell you the facts about the product, the price, how it performs, if it's good, if it's bad. I can tell my opinion if I love it or it's kind of okay or I really hate it. But in the end, it's up to you to make a decision if you want to purchase it or not. I can only give you facts. I cannot make the decision for you. That's not just because financial differences. We all have different finances, but also different skin tone. I don't know what you have, what you don't, what you like, what you don't. So I can give you all the facts and hopefully I can give you all the details, and I'm trying my best to kind of cover everything that I can, but in the end, it's up to you if you want to spend your money on it or not. So with that being said, I do think the quality of these blush highlighter is really beautiful. I think it does something to the skin. It's quite blurring, and there's just something with a Chanel formula, mainly this one, that is so blurring and soft on the cheek. You do have to understand that you have to build up the product. Mostly the blush in the Peach Duo, I mean, in the beginning, I felt like nothing showed up, but the more I built it up, the prettier it looked, and I actually really like this now. But the color story, you need to like this, and I don't think this is anything new and revolutionary. More so the berry one, I feel like it's more, I think, unique in the Chanel, but the peach one is kind of been there, done that. But even this, I remember in the winter collection, there's a beautiful berry shade that's similar to that, but you do get a highlighter in this. So I like the formula. I just don't think that these are necessarily something absolutely crazy, revolutionary that you need to run and get. They are limited edition, but don't let that make the decision for you to get it or not. If you really love the color story, the formula is nice, you can get it. But if you're kind of like iffy, there's better ones that will come. I promise you. There's a couple Chanel products that I kind of missed out on. Some highlighter that I really wanted a few years ago, and I kind of, I wish I got it. But I don't think these are going to be like that. If I missed out on this, I don't think in a few years I'm going to think back and wish I got them. I think I would be like, oh, well, those were pretty. What's next? But there's a couple other ones that I kind of am looking back and I'm like, ooh, I wish I got that one. There was like the Camellia highlighter. Oh, that looked beautiful. So there's a couple of things like the Fantasia that came out maybe a year and a half ago. I still wear that one. It's beautiful. I feel like that was one of those that get it, you know? But this is the one that if you like the color story, I think they're great, good quality, but I don't think that this is going to be something that in a few years you're going to look back and regret you didn't get it. I don't know. That's my personal opinion. And that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you got enough information, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.